And so everything with check marks we're doing today. So today we're doing the quiz. We're doing this homework, which is the closure problems. We're going to do 77 and 78 and the review notes. Yeah, trust me. Okay, I'm going to leave the whodunit for you for tomorrow. This whodunit is different. It's not going to be hanging around the room. It's actually, we printed it for you so that you don't have to get up. And there's one packet per group. So we printed out these pretty colored graphs for you. They're like the shading ones, and you have to figure out which inequality goes with it, kind of like the digital escape. I'll leave the key and the answer with the sub. And then the homework, I don't know. And then the homework for Friday and Monday is going to be the review assignment. On Monday, you're going to do the team test. I'll put the key on the backboard like I usually do. And then on Tuesday, we'll do the histogram box plot review together because I need to teach you how to do that. So at the end of the thing, well, by the time I get back, it's going to be exactly the same amount of stuff done. It's just going to be in a little different order. But today we're going to do this, and then the homework is this, and we're going to do this. Okay, and I guess if you hear me say nothing else, just make sure that you leave the histograms, box plots, and dot plots thing for me later when I get back, because I need to teach you how to do that. I don't expect you to like figure that out. Okay, now I'm going to ask you kindly to please put Chromebooks in your bags. Please and thank you. Chromebooks in your bags. I don't know, it's that hard to put it in the bag. It's not that hard. In the bag. Yes. In the bags. In the bags. With the zipper and the thing, you like zip it open and then you put it in there and then you zip it again. Okay. So I need okay. There's a problem just like number 15 on your quiz, not 16. 16 is a system. There's just one like 15. Y equals 3x plus 3. So first step is to pretend that I have equals. And then I decide if it's solid or dashed. What's this one? Solid. Great. Okay, so I'm going to go up 3 for the y-intercept. And then the slope is 3, so I'm going to go up 3 over 1 for my slope. But then I'm also going to go down 3, back 1. Okay, then I say to myself, is 0, 0 an okay thing to test? Yes, because it's not on the line. Oh no, my pen is running out. I got true. So I graph 0, 0, and I put a little T next to it for true. And I put a false on the other side of the line. And then shade. Oh my gosh, I shaded the false. Shade the true. I'm having a stressful day because I'm leaving you, which I don't like, and also because the AP Stats exam is today. And yeah, thank goodness for white erasers. Okay, moving on. Number 16. So this one, I'm gonna switch out this pen because it's terrible. X plus Y equals 1. So I'm doing the top one. And this one, I have to get Y by itself to graph it. So minus X, Y equals negative X plus 1. Okay, and then is this solid or dashed? Solid. Okay, so we're gonna graph negative X plus 1. I'm gonna go up 1 for the y-intercept. And then negative X is a -1 slope, which means you go down 1 over 1. Okay, 0, 0. Okay to test. Yep. 0 plus 0 less than or equal to 1. True again. Unlike my conversation with my mother yesterday, which was full of a lot of not true things. Okay, so now the other equation that I'm going to work with is y equals 2. Is that vertical or horizontal? Horizontal, great. And is it solid or dashed? The one on your quiz, there's not horizontal or vertical, it's just a regular one, in case you're worried. So go up to 2, dash, horizontal. Is it okay to test 0, 0? However, it's going to feel weird because I'm only going to plug in the y. 0 is greater than 2. Oh, did we finally get a false? Okay, so that means it's false and true here. Yep, the double shaded part is the answer. So on a quiz or test, I like to go back over it again just to be really sure that the teacher can tell which part I mean. No, this 15 is, but not 16. Is that okay? Right. So no, there's not a double shaded one on your quiz, just a regular one. We're not there yet. Okay, now let's just talk about what is on your quiz real quick. That's actually just like warm-up problems 12, 13, 14, and 15. It's almost like we went in order of the warm-ups on the quiz. So one of these with the B, find the exponential, solve for the letter arrow. solve for two things, and it's either in between or out, and then one of these. Okay, now scooch your packet off to the side. Okay, now this one is interesting. So it's exponential, which means I'm going to start with a table just to help me get my sketch of my curve. I know it's going to be a curve. I also can tell that it's going to be dashed from this original inequality. But what is the start on this one? Okay, it's not 0. Yes. Okay, excellent. So if you plug 0 in for x, what's 2 to the 0? 1. Great job. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. And then you can use the multiplier of 2. So now 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Also, you could think about a 1 being in front of this, and that would be your a. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4. You can kind of get the idea of the curve and then make sure to dash it. Try not to touch the x-axis, it's hot lava. Is 0, 0 okay to test? Yes, okay. 0 is less than 2 to the 0. 0 is less than 1. True. No, where it's like a curve, no. Just a regular line. Okay, so this is true at 0, 0. This is false. Okay. Now the other one, I'm going to do it in red so I can see. This one, I have to get y by itself. Just again, if you're going to ask me, the one on your quiz, y is already by itself. Okay, now how can I write this so that it looks like a slope? Excellent. Negative 1/4 x plus 1. So you can always put that 1 in front of the x if you need to so you can see it. And this one is going to be solid. Okay, so up one, and my pen's gonna be really mad because I'm writing red over top the blue. And then the slope of -1/4, so you go down 1/4. And then I'm gonna go up one, back 4. And this one is solid. Okay, is 0, 0 okay? Yep. Did anybody do it already? Okay, so this time it's false at 0, 0 and true on the other side. So I have to shade up here. Okay, so you guys are done with the notebook now. Everything else we're gonna do today is in the packet. Okay, search and rescue. I'm completely lost. Water everywhere I can see. Both burners have failed. Wait, I see land. I'm going to try to land. I think it's. Those are the last words heard from Harold in the hot air balloon. Oh, goodness. The last time the balloon showed up on radar, it was near the Solomon Islands in the Pacific Ocean. Your task. Your team must determine where to send the search and rescue teams. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this for time purposes, but we're going to read these three bubbles, and we're going to figure out where he needs to send the search and rescue. Okay, the balloon departed from the airport at the very northern tip of the Philippines. Can you guys all find the circle that's at the top of the Philippines? Okay, the flight was supposed to follow a straight path directly to the airport in French Polynesia. The balloon's last known location was at 1,000, -1,000, 1,000 near the Solomon Island. Okay, so now we're gonna take a ruler and we're gonna connect the two airports. the Philippines and French Polynesia. These are going to be solid. Excellent question. And it says the balloon's last location was at negative 1,000, 1,000 near the Solomon Islands, which means that we should shade under, but we're not going to shade. Okay, so just put a dot here for now and know that the balloon was definitely flying south of the line. Otherwise, this thing is just going to end up a giant thing of shading. We're just going to shade at the end. Okay. Next spot. We were on our way from Australia when we saw a hot air balloon sinking rapidly. I'm certain that it crashed south of our flight path. When we left Australia, we traveled 2,000 kilometers north for every 3,000 kilometers east that we flew. Okay, can you guys find the airport in Australia? And then they flew 2,000 kilometers north for every 3,000 2, 3, 2. Oh, hey, there's Kiribati. Okay, and they said they were certain it was south of their flight path, so that's going to be somewhere down here. So we can now take this whole thing and we can narrow it down to this. So we're in here somewhere. These poor people in their hot air balloon. I'm not a fan. I've never been in a hot air balloon. I don't think it's going to happen for me. I was a passenger on a flight that flew directly from French Polynesia to Indonesia. I was looking out my window when I saw the balloon going down to the north of where we were flying. Okay, so line up the airports from French Polynesia to Indonesia. And these people said that the balloon was north of where they were flying. So that makes it mean that this is the only spot left. So where should we send the search and rescue teams? Samoa. Has anyone been to Samoa in this class? Coach T goes there every summer because he's Samoa. Okay, that's it for 78. Now find the review notes. I think that problem's fun. Okay, last thing before our quiz, we're gonna do this together. And it will be a good review for the quiz. This first one is basically just like one of the quiz problems. Okay. So the first thing I did was pretend that I had equals and I distributed and was really careful to distribute -6. Now I'm going to combine like terms. This is 46. Okay, now, should I be comforted by my answer? Yes, because it's on the number line. So that means oh, yay, I know I'm on the right track. I didn't get anything super weird. Okay, should my circle be open or closed? Okay, perfect. Now, what do you guys want to test? We can test anything except -4. Z Any of those. I'm going to do 0 because I think it's easier than -1. Oh no, my test has gone firmly over into the space for number 2. Okay, now I got to tell you people, since you have a calculator on you, you should just type this in the way it looks. Like, why not? You've got you've got everything that you need. Do you guys have any questions about how I type that in? Do you guys see the parentheses above the 8 and 9? Okay, is this true or false? False. Okay, so that means that I'm false at 0 because that's what I plugged in. So my arrow is going to go away. And then this is the part that you're not going to forget, the final answer. Okay, number 2. That is an absolute value problem, which means it has 2 answers. 7 minus 9x equals +2. 7 minus 9x equals -2. Don't forget, the thing in the absolute value stays the same, but the constant flips. Yes, honey. Oh, no, no. My fault. Thank you, honey. Don't worry about that being 5/9. It's okay. Okay, and for this problem, we're just going to make our own little number line. We're going to put them in order of least to greatest, and then we're just going to put dots there. And just dots because it's equals. So when it's equals, just the dots, there's no arrows or anything like that. The final answer is 5/9 and 1. That's it. Oh, the final answer is the x equals is. And then if it asks you to graph it on a number line, you just graph it with a dot. That just says solve the equation, that's it. I just wanted to be safe. If they did ask you to put it on a number line, you guys know it's just dots. What? If on the quiz it doesn't say put it on a number line, then you do. The one on the quiz is not like this. The one on the quiz is the inequality symbol. You have to put it on the number line. Okay, any questions about 1 or 2 before we move on? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, so first, pretend it's equals, then break it into 2 pieces. Did you do it already? Anything so far? You guys okay so far? Okay, now I'm gonna plot these two on the number line and I need to decide if they're closed or open. In this problem, they're closed. So there's 1 and there's 2.5. 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, what is the only good thing that we could test in this problem? 2. There's only one good option. Okay, Miss Rice, she had this class yesterday, 5th period, and she graded their quiz already. She said the biggest mistake that everyone made was on plugging the number back in. They didn't use the absolute value. They forgot to put the bars back on and then they didn't do it in their test. So just wanted to warn you. So remember, absolute value makes it positive. Now, in this case, even if you forgot, you still would have gotten true, right? Okay, so what does it mean when it's true? It connects. Beautiful. Great job. And I'm going to write the final answer right above it. So I'm going to say 1 and 2.5. And then I'm going to put N in the middle because that's the letter in the problem. And then closed, closed. And which way do the arrows always point? Left. Can't tell you that. It could be this one or this one because there's different versions. What? 3 or 4? 4. Okay, so -5 would be right here, and 10 would be right here. And what's our best option for testing? 0. I mean, you can test anything in between. I'm going to choose 0 every time it's an option because I'm lazy. Also, okay, false means the arrows go out. What's wrong, honey? No, it's an. No, no, it's okay. It looked like 15. I see what you saw. Is that better? Okay, so I have x is less than -5 or x is greater than 10. So if it's false, the arrows go out and you have an or statement. And if it's true, it connects and you have a compound inequality. Any questions about number 3 or 4 before we move on? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, so this one I have y equals x plus 5 solid, up 5. Slope is 1, so up 1 over 1 and then backtrack. You're definitely going to want a ruler for your quiz, I think. No, just like this. Can you do this? Yeah, I know you can. Okay, I'm going to test 0, 0 because it's not on the line. 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 5. 0 is greater than or equal to 5. False. Great job. So that means it's true up here. Horizontal dashed at -4. We get another false? Okay, flip when you're ready. Okay, so x equals 3, vertical or horizontal? Vertical. Solid or dashed? Is it the third false in a row? Man, is it like me on the phone with my mom last night? Okay, what do I do first on this one? Hmm? Get it to be y equals? That's right. But what do I do first to get it to be y equals? You were right. Put it equals first. You weren't wrong. Okay, so y equals, so this is going to be positive 2/3 because the two negatives cancel. And then this is going to be positive 1, which is kind of satisfying. Okay, and it is dashed. It is? You're so smart. Okay, so plus 1 and then up to over 3 for the slope. And I'm going to go down to back 3. I'm going to remember to dash it. I think that's true. Okay, how do I know to do slope on this problem? How do I know? What's the directions telling me to tell me to do slope? Yep. Which point do you want to use? I know which point I want to use. Yes. No. But the next one is number 9. Tyler, you're putting fractions in them now? You're a jerk. Now, on this problem, if you put minus 0.4 right here, I would not be mad. But I do not want you to put the slope as a decimal. But the y-intercept, if you put that as 0.4, I'm not going to be upset. Okay, anything about 7 or 8 before we move down? Okay, now this one is on the quiz. This is exponential, which means this is the one where you go to the table. How many B's does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Yeah. I'm a little bit afraid of what this number's going to be. No, no, it seems, oh, not so bad at all. Oh, I'm so surprised. I don't even need to do the cube root on the calculator, but I'm gonna, just to remind you guys how to do it. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the 3 first, then the math button, and then scroll down to number 5 where it puts the little 3 in for me. Yeah, it's wrong. It's probably minus a half point. Do you know why it's wrong? You see the third word in the directions? Okay, equation. Okay, last 3, and these are quick. A country pledges to reduce its annual CO2 emissions by 5% per year. If the emissions in 2022 are 6,860, what are the maximum allowable emissions in the year 2031? Okay, so y equals a b to the x. A is the initial value. B is the multiplier. Anybody know what the multiplier is in this problem? 0.95. Excellent. And then what is the time? 9. No, but they are on the test, the chapter 9 test. Okay. 50,000. Okay. 3% raise. So what is the multiplier for that? 1.03. 7 years. This one is money, so I'm going to be very specific about my rounding. Round to the hundredths place. Make sure that I look at that and then check the number next to it is a 3, so I leave it 69 cents. Okay, last one. Chris wants to order DVDs over the internet. Creepy. Each DVD costs $15.99 and shipping the entire order costs $9.99. If he can spend no more than $100, how many DVDs could he buy? Okay, so each one is $15.99. So I'm going to say $15.99 X. That means times the amount of DVDs. And shipping is going to be an extra $9.99. and he can spend no more than $100. So less than or equal to 100. No, it's on the test, but not the quiz. Okay, now, in this problem, DVDs has to be a whole number because you can't have 5.6 DVDs. So how many can he buy? 5. Perfect. Okay, I need you guys to have a pencil, a ruler, and a calculator. I need to make sure that your phone is up because there's only 5 of those or so in there. I'm gonna get really, really upset during a quiz. So I need to make sure that you go over there, otherwise I'm just gonna be screaming your name across the room. Um, also, if there are not enough calculators, Coach T said that someone can run over there and grab a calculator from his thing, to borrow for the quiz. No. Yeah, but I don't want you doing that. Oh, yeah, you can. You can use it to check your, little. Which is always. How big can you use it? No. It said no, no, specifically. Why? Because there's no. I got you playing. Look at you go.